beaders, how are we? Are we all okay? So, if you remember then in the last video I showed you how to make, let me just move these out of the way 1 secondo. I showed you how to make this really easy necklace ready for the Queen's Jubilee with some matching earrings. Remember that? If not, I will put it, in case you're new, I will drop a link under the video in the description box under there. Lots of information in there for you. So yes, we made that, and then I said I would show you how to make the matching necklace and bracelet. So there's my necklace and there's my bracelet. These are really quick and easy makes for you. Okay, really quick and easy makes. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make the bracelet and then the necklace, and then the next video I will show you how to do the rings. Oh, there's 3 of them. There's the other one. I will show you how to make the rings. Okay, so this is in the traditional red, white and blue colours, okay? But because it's a platinum jubilee, you can also make it in the purples and the whites. So the technique is exactly the same. You don't have to make it in red, white and blue. You don't have to make it in the platinum jubilee colours of the purple and the white, or the purple and the silver. You don't have to do it in that. You can do it in whatever colour you like. Okay, and because these are so quick and easy to make, after the Jubilee, if you don't want to keep it as a keepsake or give them as a gift for somebody as a keepsake, you can chop it up and reuse the beads in another project. So if you're making the purple one, you will need 6 of the purple beads, and they can be either bicones, which I've used here, or you can use a pearl or a crystal, whatever colour you like. If you don't happen to have any of the larger beads, or the bicones or the crystals, just make them all in seed beads. That's absolutely fine. You will also need 6 of the contrasting colours. I've used like a opaque grey silver crystal, okay, and some 8O seed beads in purple. But if you haven't got 8Os, you can use 11Os or 6Os. Okay, and I've also got some bugle beads, 6mm bugle beads, and you'll want approximately 16 of them. Okay, and that runs for the same for the red, white and blue. Only for the red, white and blue you will need 4 red beads, 4 white beads and 4 blue beads. As you can see in this one, I have used opaque red, opaque white in crystals, rondelles, and a blue pearl. If you haven't got crystals, again, use pearls or whatever you like. The design is yours. I'm just giving you a little taster of what you can do. And you will need some silver seed beads in this one. It just breaks up the white. Okay, but if you haven't got silver, use what you've got. Just use what you've got. And these are 8O seed beads that I've made this in. I got a box of them. So the actually craft beads, in other words, the sizing isn't uniform. So if you've got some crappy beads, as I like to call them, as I fondly call them, that aren't uniform in size, in other words, they aren't a Toho or Miyuki. Oh God, you can get it open. Bear with. Oh. I got this box in lots of different shades, so I'll be using the red and the blue and some silver to go along with my 6mm white bugle beads. Okay, so you will also need a lobster clasp, a jump ring, either 5, 6 or 7 mil, whatever you have on hand, 2 culottes and 4 crimp beads and some tiger tail. Now when I'm making bracelets like this, I tend to leave the tiger tail on the reel and just go along. It makes life a lot easier. You're not going to lose your beads off the end and you're not going to get any wastage. So I tend, for this type of project, I tend to leave my tiger tail on the reel. So tiger tail, your findings and your beads, get all your bits and bobs together and let's get beading together. Righty ho then, have you got all your bits and bobs? I've got my beads set out, red, white and blue, with my little bicones over here, and my crystals and my pearls, and I've got my tiger tail on my reel. So to start off then, we're going to start off with the red, so I just want 1 red seed bead, a crystal, a red crystal, and then 6 seed beads in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The next part in my pattern then is a 6 mil bugle, a silver and a 6 mil bugle, a white bead, and then I'm just going to repeat back, bugle, CB bugle, and that's the first bit of our bracelet done. So this is all about sizing. Now I've done the sizing for you, so this bracelet will fit a 6 3/4 to 7.5 bracelet. I like my bracelets to be a little bit loose, so when it's on I've got a gap. It's nice and comfy, but if you like your bracelets a bit tighter, then take a few beads off. Okay, as long as you start with the red, so it's red, white and blue. If you're doing the red, white and blue, if you're not doing the red, white and blue, it doesn't really matter. Go for it. But then once it's on, there's a little bit of wiggle room and it drops down the wrist nicely. So the amounts of beads I'm putting on is for my size of wrist, so anything from a 6 3/4 up to a 7.5, maybe even an 8. Okay, so we've done the first bit of our red, we're doing a bit of our white, and now we're going to go on the blue. So the counts are all the same. Like I say, I've worked everything out for you. So between every big bead, or I keep on saying don't I? It's not very attractive, Jane. Stop saying So between each see, I've done it again. So between each bigger bead or prominent bead, I can't quite think of the word, brain fog, it's 6 seed beads in between. Okay, so on with my 6mm pearl and another 6 seed beads in between, 5, 6, and then onto the red. So 6 red beads, a red rondelle, another 6 beads, and that's your red bit done. Like I said, this is a really quick and easy project, fantastic for beginners and fantastic for just a really quick make. because time's running out for the Jubilee and getting everything ready, making your jewellery, and this is a very quick and easy make. So we've already got red, white and blue, red, white onto the blue. Putting on our 6mm. That's what I meant to tell you. The rondelles are 6mm, okay? So all my beads are 6mm beads. My feature beads are 6mm. Onto the red again. So it's all about, this project is all about having the right numbers. If you didn't want to do it like this and you just wanted to do segments of red, white and blue, it'd still look absolutely fine. It'll still look good, and often things don't look so nice off the wrist as they would do on the wrist. You might think, oh, it looks a bit simple, but sometimes simplicity is the best thing. You know, why complicate things when we don't need to? We don't need to complicate this at all. So why do it? Don't make yourselves extra work when there's no need. No need. So it's Monday today. What a blinking Monday it has been. So my partner, the other half, he likes to think of himself as the better half. He isn't. I just want to put that out there. Obviously I'm the better half. Was on his way to work this morning and his van broke down on the A30. Good grief. I was like panic stricken. Did you manage to get off the road? Yes, he's managed to get on a big grass embankment, so at least he's safe. At least he's safe. So he broke down at 7:30 and the rescue vehicle, whatever you want to call it, recovery, picked him up at 10 o'clock. But he's safe, and that's the main thing. We're unsure. He thought at first it was something to do with the engine, but it could be the alternator or a battery. But his engine just stopped as he's driving down a busy road doing 60. Engine just stopped. Everything, all the lights started flashing on the dash, and yeah, but at least he's okay and he's at safety now. He's been towed to where he works, which luckily enough is his electrician. Lucky enough he's doing a garage up, and the guys there are going to have a look for him. So we're on our last bit then. How quick was that? So last bit is 6 seed beads, our last pearl, and a seed bead, and that's it. We have everything on our attached to our reel. Like I say, it's down to sizing now. If you need a little bit more, add a few 8/0s on, and that'll give you a little bit more room. You could add an extender chain. There's all sorts of ways of altering the sizing. So let's close this baby up on one side. So I'm just bringing in my 2 crimp tubes and my lobster clasp. So my clot, which hasn't got a hole in it, that's good, isn't it? Has this one, and then I'll have to get another, yes. So onto our tiger tail, picking up a crimp bead, bring it to near the end because I need to put the other one on, crimping that nice and tight, putting our second crimp tube on, crimping that nice and tight, cutting off the excess of our wire, bringing up our clot, little squeeze with our fingers, you can see a bit of wire there that needs to come off, no worries. Bringing in our pliers just to close this clam off properly, altering its shape if you need to just by squeezing the other sides, popping our clasp on. If you wanted to use a toggle clasp, then that's absolutely fine. You can use whatever clasp you've got. Bringing the closure down, little ring down, giving that a squeeze where it meets the clot, dropping all our beads up. Let's just move these beads out of the way, and I've just dropped me crimp tubes, never mind, I'll get some more out. So I need to get another clot because the other one had the hole blocked. Check that one, yes, that's okay. And a couple of crimp tubes because I'm an idiot and dropped them in the beads. There we are. And a jump ring. Okay, so getting our bracelet, cutting off our tiger tail a little bit over because we want a bit of room to work with, so about 1.5 inches I've got there on the end. Putting on first our clot, putting on a jump ring, getting our snipe nose pliers or our needle nose pliers, making sure that our beads are snug but not too tight because otherwise it distorts the shape. So we want a little, just a couple of mil playing room. Squashing our crimp bead, popping on the next crimp tube, crimp bead, giving it a squeeze, cutting off the excess wire, closing our crimp bead, clot up a little bit, finishing it off with a squeeze with our pliers, not too tight. We don't want to squash the clamshell flat, we just want to make sure it's nice and closed. Pop on, no, I'll do that actually because it's got a after. If you can use the double ringed, what they called, why complicate matters, Jane? They're like a coiled jump ring where they find one and then you can show instead of talking nonsense. Good grief. Let me find one for you. There we are. So they're sort of double ringed Can you see? Sort of double ringed. And I can't for the life of me. I've got terrible brain fog this morning. I didn't sleep well last night. Please tell me I'm not the only one with brain fog. Anyway, you can use one of those if you wanted to, and you can put that on now. I'm not going to put my jump ring on now because I really want to close that up properly. So there's no point in putting it on now. So closing our end of our clamshell. So we've got a nice little loop. They're a finding in themselves, aren't they? They're great. And then using our pliers to open our jump ring from north to south, popping it through, and closing our jump ring. Do apologise, I got my tongue out then and everything. I just hope I was in shot. And there we have our very, very quick bracelet. You can make loads of these. You don't need a lot of products to do it. You don't need a lot at all. So you can make a lot of these and give them away as little gifts, little keepsakes to your friends and family. Just as a little reminder of our beautiful Queen's Jubilee. So that's one that make out the way. Didn't take us long at all, did it? The next thing we're going to do then is we're going to make this very simple, quick and easy necklace. So for your necklace then, I've used 11 OC beads. I've got 11 O's in whites, 11 O's in reds and 11 O's in blues. If you've got a nice navy blue one, fantastic. You can also do them in 8s if you haven't got 11s. But I just think the 11s look a little bit more delicate. But you don't have to do that. You can do them in whatever colour beads you like. You can add little beads in between if you wanted to. The bigger beads, put some crystals on, whatever takes your fancy. So you will need 11 O's or 8 O's or whatever beads you like. And then 4 blue pearls, 4 white and 4 red. Again, you will need 2 culottes, 4 crimp tubes. You'll need a lobster clasp, and I have put an extender chain on, and I have put a little dangly on. So if you want to put a dangly on, whatever colour you like, I'm going to use a little blue one again, why not? But you can use whatever you like. If you don't want to put a dangly on, you don't have to. If you are putting a dangly on, you will need a head pin. Okay, so let's just run through these findings again. You will need 2 culottes, a lobster clasp, 4 crimp beads, an extender chain, an extra bead to go on the end if you're making a dangly, and a bold head pin or a flat head pin to attach. Your beads, you will need 4 blue, 4 white, 4 red, your seed beads and some tiger tail. Okay, so I'll go over the measurements then of this necklace, and then I'll leave you to get your bits and bobs together. So this necklace, come on purse, just move my pliers out of the way. Right, from lobster clasp through the necklace down to the other side is 19 inches from lobster clasp to the other end of our findings, and then I've added another couple of inches with a extender. Okay, so you will want 3 lengths of tiger tail, but again I'm going to leave my tiger tail on the spool while I make my first length up, and then you will need something to hold your tiger tail once you've cut it off. So a little spring or the like, if you have one. Or what else could you use? A bit of tape on the end. It's just to stop your beads falling off your tiger tail. I'm going to use a coil, but you can use tape or whatever you have. Okay guys, so get your next bits and bobs together. I'm going to tidy up these beads out of my way so I can get my next lot out, and we'll be right back. Right, onwards then. So I've got my red beads out already, and I've got my tiger tail. Now there's a couple of ways you can do it. If you've got a bead spinner, that will save time, but I'm going to just stab my tiger tail into the pile of beads and pop them on like that. You can also do it that way, so you're just picking up the beads like that. It's up to you how you do it. If you've got a bead spinner, well and good, but I just need a little bit of downtime, and I'm quite happy stabbing my tiger tail on into my beads. Oh, well, it's been absolutely pouring down with rain here in Cornwall. We've had like really big downpours, outbursts, and there's been an awful lot of flooding. And I've just seen this morning on Facebook, down at Mevergissi there, which is not far away from me, a few miles away from me, crikey, they've had flooding down in one of the pubs down there. I won't name them, but yeah, incredible amount of flooding. Oh, how devastating it must be for them, you know. And another place down in Parr where the council have spent a lot of money on defences, flood defences, and the road was absolutely like a river. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You wouldn't believe. I think it's because the amount of rain that's fallen in such a short amount of time. If you'd have seen the weather yesterday, it was really sunny, and I was outside cutting up edges, as you do on a Sunday, because I didn't have a dig. Yesterday it got cancelled. Those of you who are wondering what I'm on about, a dig. I also do metal detecting, and yeah, it got cancelled, the dig got cancelled, so I had to do stuff around the house. Well, when I say around the house, it was around the outside of the house. Yeah, so cutting up hedges into little tiny pieces. Wow. So yeah, that was my day yesterday, and if you do follow me on my metal detecting adventures as well, oh my word, did you see the bomb that, oh dear, yeah, we were digging up in Bodmin last week, and one of the detectorists found a unexploded World War II mortar bomb. Incredible. So you can see that little space of time that I've been chatting to you, we've already got quite a few beads on our tiger tail. So I'm just going to keep on going. So the length of beads you need to be looking at is 16 inches, because if you noticed, we got a bit of a twist on, and I will show you how to do that. I'll show you how to get a bit of a twist on later on. That's why we need 16 inches to begin with. Okay, so we'll just go a bit further, and we'll see, we'll get Percy out in a second and see how far we've come. So I'm just stabbing my tiger tail into my pile of beads, moving the beads as I go, just stabbing it in, stabby stab stab stab, and they go on pretty quickly. Saves getting the, because I'm making some French beaded flowers for the house, so my bead spinner at the moment is full of beads, and I don't want to have to empty them all out to refill it again. I know it's lazy, I know what you're thinking, for goodness sake Jane, but hey. And this doesn't take long at all, and it's quite therapeutic doing this. I'm just moving the beads around and stabbing my wire into the pile of beads. Right, let's just have a little measure, see how far we've come. Like I say, I want about 16 inches. Come on, Percy. What have I got on there so far? I've got just over 13. Oh, I've got nearly 14 inches, so not long to go at all. See, it doesn't take long, especially when you're rabbiting like me. You could be listening to music while you're doing this, or listening to a book, listening to YouTube, watching a film, or listening to the film. I think that won't be far off, so let me just have another quick little measure. Come on, purse. Another quarter of an inch, half an inch, just over. Not long at all. Right, another quick measure. It doesn't matter if you go a little bit over, because once all our bits are together we can take off any excess beads or add a few extra, so do not fear, Jane is here. A few more. I hadn't put on as many as I thought I had. So keep on going until you've got your 16 inches. Can't be far off now. Surely to goodness. Let's have another little measure. I think that's more like it. My bead map measures 12 inches and I'm just over the 12 inches by a couple, so let's just have a look. Come on, Pierce, behave yourself. Yeah, bang on 16 inches or just over, so that'll do. So I'm going to leave a good 4-inch tail on one side and a good 4-inch tail on the other side, and cut my tiger tail off. And then where's my spring gone? Here's my spring. So she drops it on her knee, popping it in there, and I'm just going to put them to one side. Okay, so let's get the red beads out of the way. Talk amongst yourselves. That's them. And to bring my white beads into play now. Nice big pile. You want a good amount so you can stab them with your tiger tail. Right, taking my tiger tail again, and let's go again. If if you don't want to watch me or listen to me rabbiting on, then please feel free to fast forward. You know how to do this in any way, don't you? So I won't be offended if you fast forward me. These aren't going on as well as the other ones, or as quickly, should I say, but it still doesn't take long. Doesn't take long at all. So what do you know? What have you been up to? I was telling you about this bomb one. Oh dear. If you're interested, I have a couple of rants on my detecting video. One when we'd sent them, if you've ever heard of What 3 Words. If you've not, What 3 Words is an app you download off the App Store, and it's brilliant. Every square metre of land in the UK, or probably the world, or the country should I say, that you live in, has got a name to it. So wherever you are, you can pinpoint exactly where you are, and it'll give you 3 words, 3-word description of the place that you are. So that's what we did with the bomb, and contacted the police. Had to send photographs of the said bomb to the police in an email, and that was at 1:30. The police turned up at 4:30 because not only had they gone to the wrong place, they sent the bomb disposal unit. I'm not allowed to call, I shouldn't be calling them that either, apparently. It's Americanised, and it's not called that in the UK, but that's what I knew them as, and that's what I called them, but they were offended. Anyway, they'd gone to a completely different place in Cornwall, over an hour away from where we were. So the police rocked up, I think it's 4:30, and the bomb disposal unit, whatever you want to call them, turned up at, I think it was 5:15, and they were all very angry, all quite rude, and yeah, I wasn't a happy bunny. You know, no thank you for making the area secure, no thank you for staying and waiting for us. They didn't give a hoot that we'd been there since 7:30 that morning, you know, let alone having to be up way before then to get there, to travel there and look after the detectorists that we had on the day. No, they weren't interested. They were just very rude and obnoxious, and made me really quite grumpy, and as they say in Cornwall, teasy. So yeah, that was my day last Sunday. So, but never mind, everybody was safe. And they did go over to the firing range, and they blew up the bomb on the firing range. We did make it onto the local news as well. They didn't name our detecting group, they didn't name it, but they just said a bomb had been found by a group of detectorists, and they said the area had been cordoned off before we arrived. No thank you for cordoning off the area and making it safe and keep... Oh, anyway, I'm not going to go over it because it makes me cross. Cross, and as they say in Cornwall, teasy. Cross and teasy. That was me, yeah. Apparently I think it's... We'll talk about hormones and things. I think it's the lack of hormones for me. Lack of hormones. I'm getting really grumpy. Dear. I hope I don't come over grumpy to you guys. Oh dear. So beading is a nice way to relax, isn't it? You know, we can relax our shoulders. Just doing some shoulder exercises, relax our shoulders. Not have to worry about anything else that's going on in the world, and just enjoy what we're doing. just enjoy it. Now this necklace you can actually do in different lengths if you wanted to, so you could do, so not all the same length that I'm doing now and then twisting it. You can just do I don't know, say 14 inches of white, no, red, 14 inches of red, 15 inches of white and 16 inches of blue, and that would give you a completely different look. And you can make it so it sat up right close to your neck, and then wear the other bracelet that we made last time, necklace that we made last time, and have that lower down. There's lots of different things. Your mind will be awash with it all. What we got here now? Not too far off, just another couple of inches, and I think we'll be done. We'll measure it and see. These aren't going on, like I say, as quick as the red ones, but it's not a race, is it, Jane? No. Enjoy it. Just enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. I think we won't be far off now, guys. Just going to have a couple of more stabs and measure it again and see how we are. Righty-ho. Come on, purse. I still haven't drawn him any eyes on. Yep, 16 inches. So again, want about 4 or 5, about 4 inches at one end, and then 4 inches at the other end. Cut it off and put it in our spring to keep it safe and all the beads don't fall off, because that would be very sad. I'm going to put my white beads away. What have I just done with These are quite handy, these little scoop things. It came in a jewellery set that I had, the plier set. They came in that. And then I'll get some blue ones out. Like I say, you do need quite a pile because that helps it go on the wire. What's going on here? I'm all of a tangle. Oh, I've got a knot in my wire. Okay. And repeat the process with our blues. Like I say, if you don't want to watch and you don't want to listen to me rabbiting on, I won't be offended. You can fast forward me. It's entirely up to you. Oh, and I went shopping yesterday as well. Couldn't believe it. I was in Lidl just as they opened. So early for me. And I can't believe 20 pence on stuff, 5 pence on stuff, 10 pence on stuff. Shopping is going up. I mean, I know we were warned and I know it's happening all over, but it's just like, goodness gracious. I can't believe, you know. And before you know it, all the 20p's and 30p's all add up, and when you're on a budget and you try and budget each week for your shopping, you're having to budget for a little bit more, aren't you? So, unbelievable. Well, times, you know. And it makes me think about how hard life must have been for my grandparents during the, and this is how it's making me feel. It, you know, going back to the wars, how things were so tight and how they were rationed. I mean, wow, it's hard to believe that they fought the wars so we could be here today, and here we are in 2022, so sad about the war that's going on in Ukraine at the moment. My heart absolutely bleeds for them, and I suppose when I think about that, it makes my problems so minuscule in comparison with how they must be feeling and what they are going through over there. So just very, very sad times, isn't it? You know, you wouldn't think in 2022 that we would be worrying about wars. But what's the world coming to? It's very sad. Anyway, we don't want to be thinking about all the sad things, do we? We want to be thinking about the happy things. And here we are making some beautiful jewellery. Simple jewellery, but still beautiful all the same. Ready for our beautiful queen. I still can't believe she's been on the throne 70 years. 70 years. Wow. That's longer than most of us have been on this planet. Well, me anyway. And I can't believe that it's June tomorrow. Incredible. Just can't believe it. Where is this year going to already? We're coming into the 6th month. Before we know it, it'll be Christmas. Oh my gosh. I didn't just say that word, did I? Christmas. So how are you getting on then, guys? Are you, have you cheated? Well, cheat's not the right word. I don't mean cheat. But have you got your bead spinner out? Or are you stabbing them on like me? Or are you doing the nice gentle approach of going through all the beads like that? That could be quite quick as well. Quick and quite soothing actually. Picking them up like that. Still grow quick. Or are you stabbing the beads? Soon grows. Incredible really, you think about it, how quickly things grow just by a simple technique. Just moving them beads around really helps get them jumping on that beading wire. She says that she didn't pick any up. And once we've done this, the next video will be on the rings. And then before you know it, you'll have a nice full set of Jubilee jewellery. And if you didn't want to do it in the red, white and blue, and you wanted to do it in the purples and silvers, then that would look gorgeous. Purples and silvers look really nice. Purples and whites look really good together. Let's have a little look where we are on the old beading front. Look, another inch and we're done. So it didn't take that long at all really, did it? With Waffling Jane. But you're thinking, I wish she'd shut up. Oh, sometimes I think to myself, oh Jane, do shut up. Waffle, as my other half likes to call it. Jane, you're waffling. Oh, well, okay, yeah, you're right, I am. So come on, purse. That's got to be 16 inches, I'd have thought. Yeah, you've gone over 16 inches on that, Jane, by quite a few. So I'm just going to take a number off. Just going to leave that on there a second while I get these beads put away. Something quite satisfying about scooping beads and getting them put away. Something quite satisfying about it. Don't know what it is. Right, okay, so we've got a good 4 inches on that side, 4 inches on this side, just over. It doesn't really matter. Cut that off. Right, bring my other into play. Now I just want to segregate and then put these back on the spring. Oh, sorry, back on the spring. So just took my lengths off one side of the spring, and I just want to bring my ends together. And I'm going to pop on now then on my 3 ends a red, white and blue, and again red, white and blue, oh, get in the hole. Got a bit of a blockage the other side. The coating's over it a bit, that's it. Give it a wiggle and it'll go in. There we are. Bring them down a bit. And then feed on our clot. Not that one, that's the one with the blockage in. Feeding, making sure all 3 wires go through the little hole in the clot. Okay. I'm putting on a crimp tube, a crimp bead. And then the second crimp bead. Bringing our pliers into play and giving them a squash, cutting off our excess, bring our crimp tube up, our clot up. I've got crimp tube now on my mind. A little squash with our thumb and finger, finishing it off by giving it a squeeze with our pliers, not to squeeze it flat, remember, just to make sure it's nice and secure. Putting on our clasp, rolling it down, and then just securing the end, making sure it's nice and closed where it meets the clocked ball. Lovely jubbly. Right, pushing now our beads up to our clot, letting go of our other end, so taking our tape or the spring off the other end, making sure now that the beads meet, our seed beads meet our first crystal bead, bringing our attention now to the other side. Now we need to make sure that these beads all lie nice and flat and close to each other, and then we can have a look at this end where our beads are a different length. So I need to take 3 of the white beads off and quite a few of the red beads, and that'll give us, that's it, nice. So bringing these wires together, repeating what we did the other side, so red, white and blue, red, white and blue. Some of the coating's blocking the, no worries, we'll get my needle nose just in, just in the end of the bead. If I can pick it up and hold it, that's it. I'm just going to do that on the others as well. That should go through no problem now. Okay. That's better. Just feeding on our red, white and blue beads. Fabulous. Just checking everything, making sure our wires are correct and laying nicely as they should. Popping on our clot. I might just open this a wee bit just to make life a little bit easier when I'm crimping. Our 3 wires will go through nicely. Now's the time to check. Can you see that that wire's come loose? Just pull it up. Checking again. Yes, everything's feeling nice. Passing on our crimp tube. One last check, we don't want to be crimping this crimp tube if nothing's right. There we go. Letting our first crimp tube down to our clot, giving that a squeeze. Popping the second crimp tube on now. Make sure it's nice and close to our other one. Giving that a nice tight squeeze. Cutting off our excess wire. I'm just turning the crimped edge so it fits in with the clot, giving that a little squeeze, nice and close. Before we close the ring off, just adding on the extender chain and bringing the loop of the clot together, just squashing it down a little bit to make sure it's nice and secure and the extender chain's not going to fall off. Nice and secure. Okay, and then we're just going to make our little dangle. I showed you how to do this on the first video in this little series. So over, across the top, down, around the side. Now before we start to wrap, I just want to attach this to my chain. On it goes. I'm going to hold with my less dominant hand the little loop, the eye, and then I'm just going to grab my wire and take it around a couple of times to form a nice wrap loop on the top of my head pin. Cutting off the excess wire as close to the wrap as I can, and then just going around with the pliers on that wrap loop where I've cut it, just to make sure no bits are sticking out and they're not going to catch you and hopefully not catch your clothes. There we go. Right, so we've got it like this then. If you want to leave it like this, that's absolutely fine. You can just wear it like that, not a problem. But you can see in this one I've got it so it's a little bit twisty and wrapped together. All you need to do to make that happen is one end, take your end, pop it over and under, go into the other side and through the loop, back to this side, through the loop, back to this side and through the loop. Can you see that starts to give it a little bit of a twisted feel, and it pulls things together? Okay, so again, through and then through. You can do that as many times as you like, as you're happy with. For me, that'll do. Just run your hands through it, and there you have your necklace. Like I say, if you wanted to leave it just as it was, then you can do that too. There's no right or wrong way of doing it, but once it's on, it'll relax, if you know what I mean. As it looks at the minute, it looks like it's a little bit bungled up, but it isn't. It's just the way that the wires fold in on themselves. If you want to relax it a little bit, just twist in your fingers and that will relax it off a little bit. And there you have your gorgeous, oh, and I've got myself attached on an earring. I've hooked an earring up. And once, like I say, once it's on, it's absolutely fab. I'm just going to widen you out a little bit then. So there we are then. We've got necklace, bracelets, where's my purpley one gone, because I really like that. A purpley one, and you can do your necklaces in them colours as well if you wanted to. It's yours to do with as you please. Some earrings and a chain necklace with your little dangles on. So we're getting a right good set together here, aren't we? Like I say, I've got two of these. I'm going to give one to a friend to wear and one for myself to wear. So next video then, guys, will be onto the rings. I truly hope that you've enjoyed today's simple makes, and you go on to make lots for your friends and lots for your family as little keepsakes. Like I say, don't have to use the red, white and blue. These are ideal sets if you just wanted a quick set of jewellery to go out with in the evening. And these do look quite nice as wraps together. So you can have the more traditional, I quite like that. The more traditional with the contemporary, and wear them stacked. I quite like that idea. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wear them stacked like that. I sounded right prim and proper then, didn't I? So there you are. I really hope that you've enjoyed today's video. Sorry, I do apologise about my brain fog and saying a lot. I do apologise about that. But, see, I'm doing it again. That's just the way it is, isn't it? You know. We can't all be perfect all of the time. Having said that, I am doing it quite a lot just lately. Brain fog. Ding ding. Right, so let's see those thumbs. Thumbs. I know I've got one nail longer than the other, but never mind. Let's see your thumbs. Please give me a thumbs up, guys. Please share the video with anybody that you think could appreciate it and get a bit of use out of. If you know of any beginner beaders, please welcome, please invite them along, and let's enjoy this mad beading journey together. And until very next time, stay safe, take good care of you, and much love, and thank you very much for supporting me. I'll see you soon. Bye now. Cheers. Let's see those thumbs. Thumbs. Come on, purse. Let's put some eyes on.